I've said it for a long time that before I started fighting, this is whenever, not fighting as a thing to do, fighting as people are getting smart with me, people are disrespecting me, fighting. I said it to everybody that I was probably born in a different time era because my blood is different than other people. Like my dad's Scottish, and my grandpa was the first generation ever to be born in the United States. So, you know, that's the Wallace clan. They're all warriors and fighters, and they were raised up from that. So I'm sure that, well, we have maybe one less chromosome or one more, I'm not sure. But then on my mom's side, the Filipino side, they're also warriors, you know. And that's why I say I was probably supposed to be born back in the, at least when it was okay to kill or be killed, probably in that time. But I mean, I started fighting, I went to jail, and then figured out I needed something as discipline to make me a better person, and that's where martial arts came in, to teach you when to use it and when not to use it. And ever since I started training martial arts, I haven't been in actual fist fight or altercation besides in the cage. Before that, I was in mini, and I was fighting whenever I shouldn't be fighting. Some of the biggest sacrifices, money, because there's not a lot of money in it. You don't start fighting for money, or I didn't. I started fighting because I had issues I needed to work out. Losing, especially to a person that is, you know, very competitive, and it's not like losing a football game. You're losing something more. You're taking one man and then taking another man, battling them, and you lose a little bit of yourself every time you lose. But you also learn. That was probably one of the hardest things I ever had to deal with, is you go out, sometimes you want to fight, sometimes you don't. And that's where I came, why I don't fight as much as I used to, is you get to a point where you're really angry, you fight, and then you get to where you're not angry anymore. And sometimes you just don't want to fight, but I'm not going to not fight just because I don't want to fight. And it might be that you might feel sick, or you know, or you might have a fever, but you still go out and fight. You also figure out that you're a man by doing that, and sometimes you win and sometimes you lose whenever you're sick or whenever you're dealing with things. You sacrifice a lot, going out and losing in front of everybody you care about, you know. But at the same time, I wouldn't be the man I am today without the wins and the losses that I've had. And some of the losses were there was definitely a downtime after that, but I could have quit after my losses, but I didn't. I've continued doing it, and I continued training people. And that's like really the main reason I started like fighting, is because I wanted to train other people that had the same problems and issues that I had whenever I was younger, but I didn't have anybody teaching me properly. Everybody I was learning from was teaching me to go out and fight if somebody disrespects you, and that's not what it's about. You fight for the good, not just to be respected. Anybody that knows me, I have a saying that if you want to be my friend or be a part of my life, then you need to be a part of my life. And that's jiu-jitsu or just training in general, whether it be working out or doing jiu-jitsu. And some people think it's kind of rude, but I'm just being honest. Like, some people go out and party and drink, and that's their life. My life is doing this. And, you know, I have friends that I see every now and then, and we hang out. But if you actually want to be a part of my life, you have to train with me, because people fall off and they don't train, and guess what? We don't hang out. And that's what I tell a lot of people. They'll be like, hey man, like, let's hang out. And I'll be like, we never hung out before training, and training in jiu-jitsu is our common denominator. That's what brought us together. So if you're, and I'm still doing that, if you're not doing that, we're probably not going to hang out. And that's why my closest and dearest friends are the ones that I train with every day. And if you don't train, then I mean, we could still be friends, but it's not, we don't have the same relationship. It's not the same, like, we have a brotherhood here. I have friends I hang out with, but I don't drink, I don't party, I don't do any of that stuff. And I think that's also with, like, the woman that I chose to be with, and she chose to be with me. She knows that this is my life, and we dealt with that too, but training keeps me level-headed. If I don't, then I go nuts, and she understands that.